Hello. So today I'm going to be talking about how we might improve the flow of letting people understand what rules are associated to a specific branch. So particularly this idea of deep linking to a branch rule to explain that, okay, this branch rule defines the settings for this branch. Um, One problem with that is that the way branch rules are calculated, there might not be just one branch rule per branch. There could be multiple branches, and we currently have a logic in the backend that calculates all of the different settings that so branch protections and merge request approvals, and then that kind of forms what the end settings would be. So that's documented here where at the moment the most permissive rules carry through. So in this scenario here, if I have a merge rule and I have one wildcard and one specific, and I say the specific one is a maintainer, um, the most permissive rule wins. So for this protected branch, the rule that it's going to take is it's going to allow both maintainers and developers, even though the rule here specifies maintainer, because it's looking at all the rules together and then there's a calculation to find out which rules to apply. So that makes it tough to figure out which rule to associate to this. Um, So what I am proposing is that um, we we show that calculation. Um, so here I have this branch here. If I click on this, it displays the branch rule settings. And inside in the top part here, it's like, oh, this was calculated by 3 matching branch rules. I can see the final result of that calculation here. I can understand what's going on. I can see that there's 2 approval groups here, and that's all through the calculations. I don't have to do any mental gymnastics or try to decipher protected branches rules. We let GitLab calculate that for our users. We can click on here to see, oh, okay, these are the matching branch rules that apply to this specific branch. So it's the wildcard one, this specific one, and all branches. So from here, we can then go to edit, jump into that specific branch rules to then make any changes based on that. The reason why this is important is because right now, this is our current flow. Um, the user may, I'm just going to zoom in to make it a little bit clearer. So right now, I could be setting up a protected branch. I have a wildcard right now, and I want to have rules that are more specific for a specific branch. So I set maintainers, and as we know from previously, I said the most permissive rule wins. So I'm setting this up, and that looks good to me. I go to merge request approvals. I create a new merge request approval specific to this one branch here. And at this moment, I'm still in settings, and I have no idea what the final outcome of how many approvers groups will be assigned to this, what kind of push rules will be assigned to this. I would have to read the docs and understand how GitLab calculates all of this to get this answer. Right now in our product, we don't have a way to visualize that within settings, but we do visualize it once you create an MR. So let's say I create a merge request on this specific branch. I see here that it says it's 2 approvals. So it's already doing the calculation that is taking on the merge request approvals, but there's actually one more approval, which is the code owner approvals from the wildcard, but that's not specified in the new merge request screen. And it's only specified there once I've created the merge request and I can see that, oh, I have the 3 approval groups of approvers specific and the code owners, and the total number here is all the required count. The gap between understanding what I set up for my repository and finding out what that may be is something that we can bring forth a lot closer. And hence, that is why I'm proposing that we display a preview of what the rules resolve to, potentially starting off at branches. Branches is this area here within repository, but the path to this also exists in settings, because within branch rules, let's say I was looking at this wildcard one here. If I click on that, there's 4 matching branches. And what we're doing right now for branch rules is actually linking this to branches with a filter. So potentially these filtered branches for that one wildcard rule, clicking on this, we could display the specific rules. This is one way we could achieve this functionality through iteration, and then we can start thinking about, how might we bring that back into settings so that you can view those kind of rules at this level too. So potentially you can click here to see what the rules resolve to for this specific branch, or this specific branch. But that's something that I'm happy to get some feedback on, and yeah, we can move from there. The designs that are currently in this issue here are still early days and are open to any feedback and changes. Thank you very much.